Hello YouTubers, RV enthusiasts, and fellow hams. Well, today I did my first repair here at the bench. A fairly simple repair, but I didn't want to start with anything too complicated as I'm still getting used to working at this spot, but it worked out pretty well. A local ham, Ron, came down for a visit and brought his Kenwood TS130s, which had a wiggly, loose and fiddly band switch on it. You could wiggle the band switch around, signal would cut in and cut out. Not good. So we took care of that for him, and he was pretty pleased with it. So without further ado, let's get into the video here and take a look at the repair. Well, here's Ron's TS130s, and nice little radio, as we've seen before in my previous video. And this one has a pretty common problem with these, which I think I worked on the other one as well. If we listen, you can hear that that band switch is I can feel it's not detenting right on the band, and it's cutting in and out. So definitely some of the wafers are out of alignment in there, and the rods are probably loose, and we'll have to tighten those up and clean the contacts on the wafers. He tells me there's also a problem with transmit audio. He was saying that when we go in and out of transmit, sometimes the audio comes back low or pops up high. And it's coming back to the same signal level every time. We'll have to look at that a little closer after we get the band switch figured out. But first things first, we're going to open it up and take a look at those band switches. Similar to what I found on that other one, there's this link back here. And back at the back, there's another wafer switch that switches the filtering for the power amplifier. And this link has a couple of grub screws in it, and this one at the front is loose. I don't know if you can see that on the video. I'll try to zoom in, but you can see the shaft is moving a little bit here, and this is not moving much. It's moving within there. So this grub screw needs to be tightened up. That's going to fix the detent. All I need to do is line up all the wafers and then tighten that down, and that should probably take care of the band switch's physical issue. And then we'll just take some contact cleaner and we'll clean each of these wafers. The one down here in the PA, I'd have to completely disassemble the back of the radio to get to it, but I can get to it through this gap, and I can clean it that way. So provided it's switching the filters okay, which it probably is, we won't have to disassemble the PA for that. So I'm going to go dig out my Allen screws. I don't know where they are. They're buried somewhere back in my tools. I'll find them, and then we'll get this tightened up and clean these wafers, and that should take care of our band switch issue. Alrighty, we've tightened up that grub screw now, and the band switch doesn't wiggle anymore. And I was just flipping through bands, and we can hear we've still got dirty contacts to address. These are getting better just from exercising them, so yeah, it won't take much to clean them. So physically, the band switch is fine now. Just tightening that grub screw up was all we needed to do. Right over here is one of the relays that does transmit receive switching for the incoming RF, so we're going to clean that as well. I haven't seen it. Let me see, 20 meters, yeah. Yeah, it comes right back every time. I was talking to Ron, and he speculating maybe the problem's in his desk mic. We're going to try it out on transmit here after a little bit, but first I'm going to clean the contacts on these wafers and make sure that the band switch is then working as it should. QD electronic contact cleaner. You can pick it up at automotive stores. It's pretty much the same formulation as what you get in any electronic contact cleaner. And it evaporates almost immediately, so it doesn't leave a mess. I'm going to turn the radio off while I do this. No sense in shaking it all up. I'll do each wafer individually at one end of the band switches range, and then we'll go over to the other end of the band switch range and we'll do it again. And you don't want to hose it down too much. I mean, like I say, it'll evaporate real quick, so it doesn't matter if some of it gets on the board. We'll just go through the middle too. Okay, and we'll get this one. Now the antenna switching wafer. Make sure I remember which side the contacts are on. Yep, the outside. Okay, and I pulled the cover off this little relay so I could hit its contacts too. Just give it a little wash there. Okay. Well, there's something I hadn't thought of in an RV. I might get a little dizzy. I can really smell the contact cleaner. Okay, let's click. Yeah, it's already dried up. We'll close this relay back up, we'll power it up, and we'll see how the band switching is now. Perfect.
Roger, long time before you, fellas. Driver, is that, do I have you now? Beautiful signal in Costa Rica, you 5959, GSL?
Costa Rica. Oh yeah, 24. That's my antenna. It's a little weak on that band. Okay, I'd say band switching is good now. Cool. Yeah, we're coming back in and out of transmit receive just fine too. Alrighty, well, let's hook up a microphone to it and get on the air and make a contact and see how it does. We got the radio all hooked up. Got my antenna tuned for 20, and we're on the intercontinental net on 14.3. He's calling for check-ins. We're going to try to check in and see if we get through.
73 Terry, clear with you, and this is Intercom, where we'll take further check-ins. This is the final hour of the net. Any station, please.
Kilowatt Bravo 9, Radio Lima Whiskey, stroke 5.
Kilo Bravo for Romeo Lima Whiskey. Go ahead, over.
Yeah, it's Kilowatt Bravo 9er Radio Lima Whiskey. Kevin, portable in southern Mississippi. The old tech guy on YouTube, and I'm testing a radio I just did a repair on, the first repair I've done in the RV. Over.
Okay, well, it sounds just wonderful. Sounds real good from where I'm sitting. And what's your location?
Yeah, we're in the middle of the DeSoto National Forest in southern Mississippi, just south of Hattiesburg. Over.
South of Hattiesburg. So you're running portable?
Yes, sir, running portable. Find this repair video probably next week sometime. All right, back to net. This is KB9RLW Portable 5. 73.
Thank you for checking in. Thank you for the information. I'll look up the information on YouTube. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Lima Whiskey. Got your no log, Kevin. Portable.
Well, there we go.
Again, this is the final hour of the...
So, I would say I think we're probably good on this repair. The radio seems to be working fine. Ron's over here off camera going, uh-huh, so I guess he's happy. We're going to button the radio up and call this good for the first repair here on the road with the old tech guy. So there you go. We did a successful repair at the bench on the road in the RV. So far, so good. Big storms coming in tonight here in southern Mississippi, so I had to go out and take down my HF antenna before it gets dark, because they're going to come through about 1 a.m. and it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. Not happy about that, but what can you do? The other thing is I've had to repair the fridge. I've been mentioning on the Facebook page, and we've been talking about it. The burner was not being sensed properly when the temperature outside got warm enough. It got up into the mid to upper 70s, and the fridge would suddenly not be able to tell the flame was lit, and it would sit there and keep on trying to reignite it and finally give up and say there's no flame, even though there was. So I worked on that, cleaned the burner, cleaned the igniter, cleaned the igniter is also the probe tip that senses the flame. Kind of like a home furnace. They've got a little metal tip comes out over the burner, and it through high voltage that creates a spark which ignites the flame. But then that same probe tip measures a little bit of resistance through the plasma of the flame to ground, and that's how it senses the flame. Very similar to the way the home furnace, well, my home furnace works anyway, probably most. And that sense circuit is not working when the board gets warm enough. So probably a resistor's drifted out of value here or there. Without schematics or, without a lot of time to spend, I'm not going to try to troubleshoot it. So I just ordered a board. Local RV place was able to get it. It'll be in tomorrow. So in a couple of days, we'll be heading westward into Louisiana. And we'll be doing some videos along the way there. Still got to do the 78,000 series voltage regulator video and make a modification to mine. And we'll probably do that as the next video. Or maybe I've got some footage to edit together of the RV park here where I stayed, which is a nice little park. So I might do a little short video on that. We'll get a few things going. Definitely things are working out here in the RV. So thanks for watching and hanging out with me. And till the next video, 73 to the hams, and to the rest of you, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not already a subscriber, click to subscribe. Join us on the Facebook channel for discussion about the videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please click to support me on my Patreon page.